I want to jump into Detroit Lions talk because that's who did it. Dan Campbell's cojones, if you will.
His big old salty balls. Dan Campbell was showing them off everywhere. It started with that first fourth down conversion, where it's 4th and 5. And what do? They go for it, and they run David Montgomery up the middle. They're not doing a pass play. It's 4th down and 5, and they're running up the middle. They get it. Amazing. Obviously, they had
That's
two
against
stands.
the league's 5th best rushing defense, too, by the way. They just fuck you guys. We're running this thing up the middle. Come and stop us. Continue on, though. I apologize.
Yeah, but then they go and they have 2 4th down drives in the red zone on the goal line. 4th and goal. They don't get the first one, which I don't mind them going for it, but I would have liked to see them just run it with David Montgomery again instead of doing a play action. And then they get it the second one and get a touchdown. So for everybody says, oh, kick the field goals, both of them. Just kick both of the field goals. You kick both of those field goals, you get 6 points. You score a touchdown on one of them, you get 7. So they made the right decision. They got an extra point out of it. And then, of course, to seal the game, I love this call. You have to hold on to the ball because it bit the Lions twice last year. When Lamar Jackson got the ball with time left, drove down the field, they kicked the game-winning field goal.
Yeah.
You gave Josh Allen time left on the clock, drives down the field, they kicked the game-winning field goal.
Yep.
What did Dan Campbell do? He knew his defense couldn't stop a nosebleed. He knew his defense could not stop Justin Herbert from doing whatever he wanted. So he put the ball in the hands of his offense to win the game. Get 2 yards, win the game. They went out there, they did it, they got the 2 yards, sold the clock, kicked the field goal, game over. I loved it. That's what you had to do. You could not afford to let Justin Herbert and that offense come back out on the field because you weren't able to stop them for like 8 straight drives and nothing would have changed. They would have went down there. It would have been another heartbreaking loss. But he put the ball in the hands of his offense, which was smacking them all day, running the ball wherever they want, doing whatever they want. They got the 2 yards. They win the game. I love it.
As a former player, it truly, he has a feel for the game. And I guess in certain ways I could say he hasn't always had that because it was almost like it was oddly reminiscent, not the same score obviously, but back to that Vikings games last year where he did kick the field goal and I think they missed that one too.
Yeah.
And then they ended up losing that game and Dan Campbell, I think that's the game he broke down and cried. No Sharon Moore following that one. But it's either he learned from that or it's just a genuine feel of the game because 4 out of 5 yesterday. 4 out of 5. He went for the fourth down 5 times, they got him 4 times out of none. I mean, by the way, kudos to having that offensive line finally together and healthy. I know Big V wasn't there, but Graham Glasgow is obviously perceived as an upgrade, in my opinion, over Big V in that situation. But just the overall feel for the game, just to know to go for that. Because I tell you what, if that's like the Jets Raiders last night, you kicked that field goal because the points were hard to come across. But yesterday, where it's just like they're scoring, you're scoring, no one's stopping anybody, go for it. Close it out, seal the deal, and exactly what you said, him going for it on that many 4th downs was the reason they won the game. And the same way I said the feel for it, we predicted it last week, saying this is going to be a shootout. Yeah. Dan Campbell, I felt like deep down knew that as well, and that's why it's like, look, we got to get 6 here instead of the 3. We can't just walk away with the field goal because I just don't know how this game's going to go. As we said last week too, anytime this team has actually played like respectable quarterbacks, it hasn't been the prettiest outing. It's been, similar to yesterday. I mean, the first game they had against Seattle, that came down to OT. And on the opposite side of it, they took the L. This time around, Dan Campbell said, fuck that. Fuck this field goal. We're going for the dub. We're getting it all. And they did so. They did just that. So I think it's a big step for the team that they need to experience that. They need to experience that shootout victory.